Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a small but fascinating piece of American history, the 1970 Washington Quarter. To understand the 1970 Quarter, we must first go back, way back, to the birth of the American Quarter itself. In 1796, the U.S. Mint produced the first quarter dollar under the watchful eye of the nation's first mint director, David Rittenhouse. It was a coin, born of the Coinage Act of 1792, part of a grand experiment to solidify America's financial independence. Over the decades, the quarter evolved, reflecting America's journey from the draped bust to the seated liberty, the barber, the standing liberty, and finally, the Washington Quarter. Introduced in 1932, the Washington Quarter, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, was meant as a one-year commemorative coin honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Yet, the design proved so beloved, it became permanent. From 1932 to 1998, George Washington's determined profile would stare steadfastly from the obverse of the quarter, a symbol of perseverance through depression, war, and national triumphs. Chapter 2, 1970, a year of transition and reflection. 1970, a year seething with change. The Vietnam War continued to rage. Protests erupted across American campuses. The Beatles disbanded, and Apollo 13 reminded the world that even in failure, courage could shine bright. In the world of coinage, change was quieter, yet no less important. The U.S. Mint was completing a fundamental shift, moving away from coins made with precious metals, like silver, to more durable, cost-effective clad compositions. This transition had begun in 1965, when the rising price of silver made coin production financially unsustainable. Congress responded with the Coinage Act of 1965, authorizing the mint to produce coins from a sandwich of copper and nickel, creating what we now call clad coins. By 1970, only a few special coins, like certain Kennedy half-dollars, were still minted with silver for collectors. The quarter, however, was fully entrenched in the new copper-nickel-clad standard. Chapter 3, Anatomy of the 1970 Quarter. At first glance, the 1970 quarter might seem unremarkable, yet its details tell a story of evolving minting technology, artistic tradition, and shifting economic realities. Visual, coins spinning slowly. Camera zooms in on features. The obverse of the 1970 quarter bears the familiar bust of George Washington facing left. His profile is stoic, noble, his hair tied neatly back. Above his head, the word liberty arches boldly. Below his chin, the motto, "In God We Trust," stands firm. At the bottom, the date, 1970. Flip the coin, and you'll see a heraldic eagle. Wings spread majestically, a bundle of arrows clutched tightly in its talons, an olive branch beneath symbolizing peace through strength. Encircling the eagle, United States of America above, and quarter dollar below. Between the eagle and the legend, United States of America, the proud motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Chapter 4, Mints and Mint Marks. In 1970, 3 mints struck quarter dollars: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco's mint mark. The majority of circulating quarters came from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. San Francisco's output, meanwhile, was primarily proof coins, coins struck with extraordinary care for collectors, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted devices. Proof quarters from 1970 are highly sought after by collectors, not just for their pristine beauty, but because of one legendary variety, the 1970s proof quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter. This error, involving an old silver Canadian coin accidentally used as a blank, created one of the rarest and most fascinating modern mint errors, with examples fetching thousands of dollars at auction. Chapter 5, Specifications of the 1970 Quarter. The technical details of the 1970 quarter are a reflection of the new clad era. Composition: outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. Diameter: 24.3 millimeters. Con was the precious severed 19 reeds. Designer John Flanagan. Gone was the precious silver. In its place, an alloy chosen for durability, economy, and long-term circulatio. Chapter 6. Special Varieties and Errors. For collectors, small differences mean big excitement, and the 1970 quarter delivers. Aside from the fabled 1970s proof quarter struck on a Canadian coin, collectors prize certain other varieties, such as the double die obverse, where elements like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled under magnification. Mint errors, like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or broad strikes, also add intrigue, transforming an ordinary 25-cent piece into a rare A.